So here we are standing in one of the 26 miles of tunnels that our tunnelling teams have created over the last 3 years. In all, more than 1,500 shiploads of material. In total, that's 3 million tonnes have been transported by ship and by rail to create the new wetlands at Wallasea. The advantage of that is that we've taken 150,000 vehicles off the roads in doing it. The unique relationship that Crossrail have with the Royal Society of Protection of Birds is central to our sustainability strategy. And I think what's been so important is that Crossrail, the construction sector, the infrastructure sector, working with environmental groups to prove that it can deliver economic and environmental value.
So Wallasea 400 years ago was 5 separate salt marsh islands, and then they were walled initially for sheep pasture, so grazing marsh. And then much more recently they've become intensive arable land. But this land's well below sea level, so in the land behind us before we imported the Crossrail material was a good 2 metres below sea level. So the amount of water that we would let onto the island if we're trying to create habitats would be too much for the estuary to cope with. So we need to build the island up, which is where the Crossrail material comes in.
It's the grand finale of the project really. We've been bringing in excavated material from Crossrail tunnelling over the last few years, and we've been building this fantastic new landmark Wild Coast scheme. Today, having brought this material in, modelled the island, created the channels, the new embankments, we're going to break through the old sea walls and we're going to allow the island to flood on the incoming tide. So we're going to bring the seawall down in levels, and then as the tide recedes down and ebbs away, we can follow behind the tide, removing layers as we go, following the tide all the way down to low water. And then when we get to low water, obviously we have slack tide and the tide will start flooding again, and then we can keep working, but we need to be away before the tide starts getting to the final level where it would flood the island.
The project is all about recreating lost habitat, so we're losing salt marsh and mudflat habitat along the Essex coast, and Wallasea will replace that habitat. So with Crossrail's help, we've created 160 hectares of new mudflat, salt marsh and saline lagoon. It's vitally important particularly for our coastal birds, so Brent geese for instance, widgeon, shelduck, all the range of ducks and all the range of waders as well. So it's an amazing place for waders and wildfowl, and my best guess is 50,000 birds using the site as a winter peak. Crossrail started work here in 2011 and it's been a wonderful partnership. We've got the unloading facility which they're going to leave for future suppliers to use, and we've created a wonderful bit of new habitat for the birds and wildlife of Essex.